doing? How you be? Talk to the AB. And yeah, so yeah, normally I would do open forum episodes in my studio, but I have to do some remodeling because it's hot and I'm tired of sweating when I'm trying to talk because it makes me talk faster and it gives me a headache and I'll be ready to work out. And yeah, it's like a pool of sweat in any event. So I'm currently waiting on some products to come in to help with that. But in the meantime, I want to talk about something as to what, and I did a video about this earlier, like what my goals are for next year. But I want to also elaborate on that with what my goals are for this channel. Here's the thing, and here's where I see myself, you know, as far as what I'm after. Basically, I wanted to do all things to reach my genetic potential, and in doing so, what I mean is I wanted to do everything naturally. So weight loss without surgery, muscle gains without steroids, and losing skin without surgery. All three aspects of it, I wanted to do on my own. So I guess you could say, you know, I'm kind of a glutton for punishment or something. I don't know, but this channel kind of encompasses all three, which is why I have reviews on certain skin products and things of that nature coming up. You guys won't see it as of right now. I'm a bit ahead of you guys, but that's why I have reviews of certain things like that, because that is a huge part of weight loss. Regardless if you go natural or if you go with a gastric bypass or the name will lose me, lap band. Or if you go with like a lap band or something like that. All three of those can encompass that depending on how you lose weight. Even though mine wasn't severe in terms of skin because I worked out so much and I lifted so much weight. Lifting weight helps so much when it comes down to losing skin and helping it go back to normal. See, most people, you know, once they lose so much weight, you know, the first thing they're thinking about is another surgery. You know, after a gastric bypass, they're thinking about another surgery to help lose the skin that they lost. But your skin can kind of go back to normal depending on how fast you lost the weight and how severe it is. And so that's what I have been working towards, and that's why I feel that losing skin is pretty much the hardest thing you can do. Building muscle, losing fat, those two are kind of hand in hand kind of thing, but losing skin is some serious business. You have to work at it. You have to work at it as much as you do weightlifting, as much as you do bodybuilding, as much as you do weight loss. It's just as important, and in some cases it's actually more important because it can be more damaging than to your, I guess, internal psyche than losing the weight in the first place. So I want to encompass all three of those qualities naturally. I want to try to achieve that on my own, to prove, one, to myself that I can do it, that I can make amends for the damage that I caused to myself, because nobody did that to me. I did that to myself, which is why I'm so adamant about fixing it. Basically, I'm trying to repair myself, kind of thing, and so that's why I'm so, you know, against, you know, I'm not really against other people doing it. I mean, what you do is your own business, and you know, definitely if you feel that is your only way out, then definitely go ahead and do so. But what I'm referring to is myself. I felt that I made mistakes that I can correct on my own. So that's why I kind of go after it, and that's why I feel that I should kind of declare it ahead of time. That way you guys know exactly what I am and what I am about. I want to do this naturally in all three aspects of it: weight loss, muscle gain, and skin loss. So, you know, that's it. You know, I'd like to know others' opinions on it. Hopefully by the time this video actually gets published, I'll have more than, you know, 2 followers or whatever. But that's kind of where I am with this. You know, I really kind of want to do this on my own. I really want to see how far I can go with it. I know that skin eventually heals over time, but it's not healing fast enough for them. It's driving me crazy. You know, it's not as simple as the weight loss. It's not as simple as the muscle gains. Those came over time. But man, skin is some serious stuff, man. But I've seen changes in terms of skin loss, and maybe I should start incorporating them in my episodes when I do my weight loss updates. I have seen changes because back when I first started, you know, you can accredit it to the bio oil, you can accredit it to the Trilacin SR, which are both reviews that I'll have coming up for you guys later on, or you can attribute to lotion or whatever. But I have seen a decrease in the skin left over from the weight loss. It was never, because I mean, I've seen, you know, pictures of other people who've lost a lot of weight, you know, in the area that I've lost weight. You know, it was never as drastic as some of the other pictures. I mean, ever. It's never been that bad. However, it's gonna make it very impossible for me to actually build a six-pack, which is what I'm working towards as far as my muscle side of things. So it makes things very difficult because it's kind of like a sheet of skin kind of thing covering it, regardless if I had a low body fat percentage or not. So that's why I've been working towards it now that I've kind of gotten down in body fat percentage. But I've noticed, you know, like when I bend over, originally, man, you can just see my skin detached from my body, and it was horrifying, to say the least, you know, for me. But I have seen it recover. It is not as bad, and I've seen it progress. Now, if I haven't seen any progress whatsoever, I'd be terrified. I'd be trying to figure out what I can do to fix it on my own before I decide to spend $20,000 to try to fix it, you know, or 10,000 or whatever the case may be. But that's kind of where I am with it. You know, I have seen progress in terms of skin loss, muscle gains, and fat loss. So all three have been progressing nicely. It's just that the skin, it just takes a lot more time. And that's kind of where this channel focuses, around all three areas. And of course, we'll talk about the other methods from, you know, the skin versus like a tummy tuck versus, you know, 360 body lift versus, you know, those other kind of plastic surgeries, or the muscle side of things, you know, building muscle supplements, how I feel about them, which supplements are actually useful and which are just crap, you know, the media and how they're, you know, how they go about selling supplements and things of that nature as in terms of muscle, and then weight loss, how I feel about the gastric bypass and the lap band, which I think, you know, can change lives. It's just that it's not something that I personally want to do, and I'll have of course a video actually about this, because I know this is going to get kind of long, but basically I want to cover all aspects of all three categories, and I don't want to leave anything out. So that gives you an idea of how I want to go about things. I want to do everything natural to reach my genetic potential in all three areas, not just weight loss, not just muscle gains, and not just skin loss. I want to be all three, the trifecta, the TRIFORCE, I guess, of weight loss, the trifecta of muscle gains, the trifecta of healing your skin. And that is what this forum is really about, and that is what I'm about. So, you know, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you really want to go ahead and subscribe, I love you either way. But that's going to do it for this episode. Talk to the A, B to the O, U, T. Peace.